Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last episode, we were able to get a lot out of the investigation from day 3, especially in Gant's office, and hopefully, today's episode we can actually do we could finally finish this trial once and for all. So, let's start. February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, lobby number 2. This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. Been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth. Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of 7777 ID number that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, there's no doubt will remain. After all, this hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right? And Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty. But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say that as much. That's what I came here to hear what you have to say. It's the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. But see you in court, right? This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now.
Court is now in session for the trial, Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Normally, this is when the prosecution puts out its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
Chief Gant. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Oh, hey, Hudgy. Have you been back to the pool yet?
No, I've been drowning enough as in my work.
Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I could top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, what exactly is this proposal of yours? He's gonna pause for a long... Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? I haven't heard what she intends to say. I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should have saved everyone a lot of time and trouble. Lana. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all the charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana, this is not part of the plan.
Objection!
Object! You can't. Your Honor, the defendant claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require... Well, I'll fucking do this myself. I don't give a shit. But Lana... Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me. It has sufficiently proven its testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-presentation. The request is legally valid, although it is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, there appears no need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
This can't be happening.
Appears that the time the verdict has arrived as the court finds the defendant.
Objection! One moment, Your Honor.
But Mr. Edgeworth,
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Wordy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good lower boy and keep your mouth shut, I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Wordy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
oh, to whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court to hear her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right for self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. You are not in charge of this case. You are trying to hide the truth of this matter. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant?
Wordy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Okay. Adjusted. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered a serial killer, Joe Darkey, of the Joe Darkey killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you're gonna have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Isn't a sin that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then.
He sure gives in fast. Now, please testify what happened between you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. 2 years ago, I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've gotta admire him for his courage considering he has no evidence.
Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
Waiting for my sister's office that day. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was my second command under the deputy chief of police, Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Skye used to be quite the pair.
I believe they share the same office. That's right. I always say I sit at my sister's desk. I dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me dinner after she finished her work. Man came in and took me hostage. A man? Yes, Joe Darkey. He was a serial killer. Joe Darkey was brought in for questioning the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest.
When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right?
Upon fleeing the room, Darkey proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were two people present during Darkey's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Darkey?
When Darkey grabbed me, I thought I was good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped in on Darkey and just then the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out.
Wait a minute. If it was a pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't be able to see anything, right?
Right, just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image on the scene of my mind.
Oh, I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Poor Emma. These memories are really torturing her. She's been through enough already. Thank you, Emma. You don't have to go into that. Now, please tell us. The scene imprinted image in your mind. Can you please describe it to us? Man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. That must have been a real shock. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clear. Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Darkey was holding you hostage. When the lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped in on Darkey and was thrown aside, and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them. Emma doesn't have any reason to lie. Well, Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much as she can. We're gonna have to go through. Let's hear more. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago. Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial. You told Detective Goodman about what you saw. Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
Ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew, I believe, has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you have mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right? Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help in the investigation. I could still see it now, whenever I close my eyes. That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken? But I did draw it, I swear. I'm not just imagining it. This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again. Well, anyway, let's continue. The scene imprinted in your mind, can you describe it to us? A man. Alright, I think we have to present evidence of that picture. Hold on, we need to see something real quick. Yeah, that thing. This picture was in the evidence list. Pictures drawn on the back of the list. I got a bad fairy feeling about this. Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. Yet you would insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. All I'm saying is that the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold,
This is the evidence list for the SO9 incident?
please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over. Turn it... Oh! What's this?
Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Huh? These lists, they're different from each other?
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list that you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened 2 years ago. Only half the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What?
Order! Order! But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in that questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor.
Oh, you're right, Mr. Wright. My eyes are bulging from your head.
The evidence list was torn in half, and there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Wait, there's a drawing?
Yes, that's quite inconceivable, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's possible.
Something wrong?
Did you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. What the fuck? It's a clown. Clown? Clowns?
They're that thing. That thing was dancing in the evidence room.
Clowns? Clearly, this is an act of vandalism. Is in the work of the chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper.
Very well, witness. Will you please testify this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Daryl Darkin about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense now begin its cross-examination.
Emma's picture. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first I was in such a state of shock I couldn't do anything. During that time, our investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Sky. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture's painted all black?
The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows. So at the time you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue? No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright that I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor? Dark had a tight grip on me when Mr. Marshall jumped on me. I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma, I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? I must have fainted. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Sorry for asking so many questions times. Are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. It was influenced by any way in your talks with detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I better watch out or he might cut my some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't have anyone's story. I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh. Oh well. That's strange. She claims that this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Yeah, that's not a knife. I find strange that she wouldn't not draw a knife. She'd draw a square. It all goes back to Neil. Yeah, just one single stab wound. Weapon found in the wound was missing tip. Wait. Whoa, wait. Hold up, time up. Time the fuck out. You said he was stabbed in the back. This is a clear contradiction. Was he stabbed in the back? Or was he stabbed in the front? I think he was stabbed in the back. So that is very suspicious. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence.
It does? I don't see anything contradictory.
Huh, really?
Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright.
Ugh. Whoops, that didn't go so well. Are you sure it's not this? Or did I just do on the wrong one?
Objection!
Okay, I just did it on the wrong statement. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? I still remember it like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us? Part of this contradicts the testimony.
These two things are right. But this thing, I did say that it was just a knife. But why is it not a knife?
Take that!
Contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. Look closely, you can see the tip is broken.
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip, it's broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off the victim's body.
It was the conclusive evidence that proved Joe Darkey was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Objection!
Where, pray tell us, you do see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. The victim was not only stabbed once, and the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Oh! What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Really? Was the knife really not broken?
Objection!
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right, what does this mean?
Objection!
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
Objection!
That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe we were annoyed at the time, because she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Objection!
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There's another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, Wright. All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was... Really? You can't deny the possibility. That's the forged evidence? No. Urgh. Are you saying the knife was forged?
Order! 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 Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. Police Department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Darkey along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Darkey fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Darkey. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. That's true. Then there's no other way around it. This cannot have been the actual murder weapon. And there must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of those two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Darkey's could have been one. If there really was another knife, let's check one. The witness is adamant about the accuracy of what she saw. It can be explained with a simple observation error. Mr. Wright. In that instance, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife? So please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. The real murder weapon. Okay. just gotta look at knife weapons. Okay, so we've already established that this knife can't be the murder weapon. There's no other knife that I saw. Wait a second. Could it be the trophy? It could be the trophy. Yeah, it could be the trophy. Because it is suspicious that... Yeah, the trophy. Okay.
Take that!
If anything's broken here, it's you. Huh?
I'm sure this must all be very amusing to you, Mr. Wright, but I am reminded the fate of the Solana sky hangs in a...
Are you kidding me? So sorry, Your Honor. Give me another chance. A murder weapon was already broken prior to it. There's only one way. Alright. Fine then. Fine then. If you want to show the picture, yeah, okay. Let's show the picture. Answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside the picture of the award ceremony. This is a picture of the award ceremony. Ah!
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award prosecutor marshal is holding? That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Darkey's knife. That being the case, the knife that the witness saw was in all likelihood from the sworn. So the knife from the award was the actual murder weapon? I guess this explains why Gant removed that knife from the reward to give to Edgeworth the seer. Order! 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 Neil Marshall was awarded the King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Darkey, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
Objection!
But that can't be. Oh, why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, the man raising the knife would have been the prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Oh! This creates a problem.
But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been eager to jump to conclusions. Hold it! Wait! I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. This time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness testimony. Would you please tell us what you recall, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, now Blue Badger. This should be interesting. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked, rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Really? You were involved? Okay. Just then there was another flash of lightning. That's when I saw the Blue Badger. He wasn't in the courtroom, but I'm sure his shadow. I saw his shadow.
This certainly is most unusual.
Objection!
try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. I agree with that. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Stop, please, don't pursue this any further. Why? Lana?
What is the meaning of this? Please remain seated until the defendant's chair.
You can't do this. I'm already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come to this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain that defendant.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. When I saw the man when you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Darke? Yes, at least I think it was him. You think? All I could really see were shadows. The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports.
So then you...
Panic and rush over towards both of them. Jeez. Why would you do something so dangerous? Yeah. What else could I have done? He was about to stab at Mr. Marshall. She seems convinced that Darke was the one holding the knife. But just as we theorized, Mr. Marshall was holding the knife. Well, I didn't know at the time. When that Darke guy knocked me out, all I could think of was I gotta help that other person. I knocked away the man with the knife. What do you mean, you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it was all kind of a blur. Miss Sky was almost killed before she was a witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural. I saw the man who stabbed the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then what happened next?
Just then there was another flash of light, and that's when I saw the blue badger. Are you sure about this? Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him here. But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable. I know it sounds strange, but I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember. Oh brother, just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
He wasn't in the room, I'm sure I saw his shadow. His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with a winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
Objection!
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may well be. What's important is what caused her to think what she saw she did. Oh, I suppose you have an explanation? By all means, tell us what the shadow really was. What was it that Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger really? I'm completely lost, but let's just say we know. Theorize this. The blue badger hadn't even dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain when she saw his shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on this fateful day 2 years ago, there is indeed something that looks similar to the blue badger. Something that is sitting now in this very room. Mr. Wright.
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger look-alike.
What looks like a blue badger? What looks like a blue badger? I'm actually curious. anything that looks like a blue badger. I know this evidence is important. Let me take a look at this real quick. Wait a second. Wait, what? What? Okay, if we assume the vase was involved somehow, you can't be. This vase, the exact same vase. No way. Alright, I'm gonna present this. This better not be a joke. Mysterious badger is in fact this. You're kidding me. Only the top at a certain angle looks like the blue badger, but
that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Indeed, it doesn't, as it stands out as just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
Our viewpoint?
I got to show them that the correct angle looks like this. Oops. This isn't right. Make it look like the badger. Allow me to divine defense that this case hinges on the witness's drawing. If Mr. Wright can't draw the witness true, we cannot accept this claim. Just gotta find the right angle. Maybe I should rotate it vertically, horizontally? Come on, Mr. Wright, you can do it. I gotta show them. Oh, it's the back thing right here. You have got to be kidding me.
Take that! Objection!
Oops. This way?
Take that! Objection!
No? Okay, try again. No? Oh no! Damn it! 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 This is so hard. How do I make it look like the thing? Oh my god, I'm messing up so bad. It doesn't help that this music is very annoying, too. This way?
Take that! Objection!
Oh my god, I am struggling right now.
Take that!
Oops. God dang it, I am struggling right now. My god. Hold up, guys. Okay. I'm sorry, guys, that you have to witness my struggle on what shapes look like. I'm not good with shapes, Pepe Hands. God dang it. This way?
Take that!
Alright. If anything, I might have to search it up. I really don't want to search it up, but I feel like I have no choice if I'm not getting this fucking right. This has to be right, please. Please, for fuck's sakes. Please? Please? Come on! Come on! Please! I thought I'm doing this correctly, please! Alright, I'm gonna try one last try before I ask for help. Before I look it up how to do it. Motherfucker. No, that doesn't count. I pressed E by accident. I pressed fucking E by accident. Doesn't help that this music is annoying as heck. Why did I press E again? Fuck! Stop it! Stop pressing E! I'm not using my computer. I'm not using my freaking mouse for this. I tried. Okay. No? 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 Alright, I'm searching it up. Be right back, guys. I'm sorry you guys had to see this struggle. Alright, after looking it up, this is so stupid. I did it. I swear I got the right angle. I'm so shocked right now. Okay, let me do this real quick. I looked it up from a person that already played this game before. Please, for the love of God. For the love of God. For the love of God, please. Okay. Please? Oh my fucking God! How many angles? God, I can't believe that's the way to do it. Well, is this a miracle? Or what? Are you telling me all the angles I put out before didn't work? Are you fucking serious? No one can possibly deny the jar's resemblance of the blue badger. No, it can't be.
Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witness on the day of the crime was actually this.
Although we enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger's the thing that actually was a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well then, please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? Location? The murderer? The murder weapon? But the murder weapon was literally... The murder weapon was literally... The knife. Location? I'll say location. Now I'm going to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At the very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, very well know this, where she could have seen this jar. Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken the day of the crime. On a shelf in the office in Damon Gantz. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified herself. Yes, and it's these two facts that transpire what actually happened. You see, the struggle between Darky and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gantz's office. Are you implying that the murderer moved the body's victim from Damon Gantz's office to Lana Sky's office? Were they fighting for so long? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man and holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit. Flew through the air. Now tell me, where could she sent the jar flying?
That would have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall?
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. The man was knocked out in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on. What would he have hit? Ah!
The suit of armor holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword.
Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have been Neil Marshall wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. I'm still confused, but we'll see. Yes, there's another possibility that actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
Events took place as the defense theorizes. Then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. That's how he died? But... You mean... Mr. Marshall died because of me? No! She was the murderer? I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. But if that's true, then... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't think she would be the murderer.
So was the witness who took the victim's life? And then proved it so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
I see. So that's what Lana was trying to prevent. Because she knew that she was the murderer. Ah, what are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances, Joe Darkey murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out what Emma did, wasn't it? Oh! She was the next person that came to the room when she saw 3 people lying down. She tampered the crime scene. I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, you have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Sky. If of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life, in one matter or another. Are you kidding me? Wait a second. That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, it's the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
Gotta think back to the court record. Real matter name may have been left behind. Is in the evidence? This message is from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? I don't want to, but I have to do my job. Don't be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be. Don't let your personal feelings get in the way of the trial.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Okay. What would frickin' Neil Marshall would have wrote? What would Neil Marshall would have used? Probably would have used a jar if that was available to him. Okay, let me see here real second. I'm gonna zoom in real close. Wait a second. This looks incomplete. But I feel like there's something. The dark... Wait a second. Are these letters? Now that I look at it a much more better close-up, these look like letters. Oh. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay, I saw the letter name. Why would Neil do this? Why? Why would he say that? Okay, I'm gonna bring this up. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna explain, but I'm gonna let... Okay, I'm gonna literally present this.
Take that!
This is the message left by the deceased.
This is the blue badger from before, right?
Oh, is he going to speak into the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It's someone's... Looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yeah, it looks like it. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
There is a line here drawn in blood.
So what are you saying? Are these dots were once lines? Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away, but blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains revealed to us the answer. We gotta connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have wrote, and given the circumstances, his murderer's name. Let me get this. No? Oh. M. Emma. It's the only conclusive thing. But why? Why? Why is this case so cruel?
Take that!
It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma is the murderer. So this is the final message prosecutor Marshall left behind.
Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
Was Emma Skye. Emma Skye is the murderer of Neil Marshall.
See, Wordy? Can't say I didn't warn you.
Chief Gant, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joel Darky was sentenced to death.
He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not?
Ah. Yes, Wordy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death.
Innocent man? He was a serial killer. What do you mean an innocent man was sentenced to death? Are you saying the serial killer is innocent? Are you... God, the police chief must be... I hate the police chief.
Not only that, he used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
Objection!
But Joe Darky really was a serial killer. That's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice?
You motherfucker. He was a serial killer through and through. And you're saying he was an innocent man. There were literally 5 other victims other than Neil Marshall, you piece of shit. Yeah, you're a piece of shit. Yeah, I'm swearing right now because you're a piece of shit. I'm sorry, guys, but he is a piece of shit. What?
We're merely keepers of the law.
Oh, fuck the law.
Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't a cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death. How could he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order, 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 order! What do you mean, innocent man to die? This guy's a fucking serial killer! He was a serial killer! They even have victims! 5 victims! 5 fucking victims! Wow, the crowd is dumb as fuck. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is heading, no one knows. Wow. I never would have thought Emma would be a murderer. I never would have thought that. At all. But, if it's really true, then... Damn. Fucking A. So, Emma was... If I saw the picture in Emma's mind, it was Neil Marshall who was trying to kill Joel Darkey. And Emma kind of pushed him. Okay. I see. But the question is, when was that vase broken? I guess we'll find out next time on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. we're gonna be continuing the trial ladder, of course. And hopefully we can get a conclusion to this case. I'll see you guys all next time.